York's case against R. Kelly. For the first time, we're hearing of a John Doe, a young boy R. Kelly is accused of abusing, and a Cook County official bribed. Our Jermont Terry read the court documents front to back live at our Streetside studio tonight. Jermont.
Brad, the feds are laying it all out in these 52 pages. The new accusations accuse bribery of a clerk here in Cook County and describe young boys as R. Kelly victims too. New federal documents from NYC for the first time accuse R. Kelly of molding young boys. In 2006, court papers show Kelly met a John Doe number 1, then asked the boy what he was willing to do to succeed in the music business, and clarified he wanted John Doe number 1 to engage in sexual contact with Kelly. The teen introduced Kelly to a male friend. The complaint goes on to say, years later, Kelly started a sexual relationship with John Doe number 2. At times, even paid John Doe number 2 after sexual encounters with him. The complaint says the boys met Kelly when they were both 17. Prosecutors say they have a witness who will testify Kelly made her download child pornography involving boys. The complaint says they found screen recordings of young males engaging in sex acts. One video is approximately 10 minutes long. Prosecutors say Kelly's cell phone had a video on the device, also indicates the file was created on the device in May 26, 2019.
It was just a quick little ceremony.
That was months after the surviving R. Kelly documentary was released. In the series, countless women spoke about what they describe as physical and sexual abuse by Kelly. The federal papers say in 2019, Kelly's crisis manager told Kelly that he had 2 people who know a lot and told Kelly to figure out what you can do for them, suggesting the people were open to bribes. Those bribes included someone who works at the Cook County Courthouse. Prosecutors say the crisis manager told Kelly he paid a clerk in Cook County $2,500 in order to obtain information about Kelly's legal trouble. The feds say there's a recording of the entire conversation. Now, R. Kelly remains in federal custody in New York City. The R&B singer maintains his innocence, yet he is still facing 2 separate trials, one here in Chicago and the federal case in NYC. Kelly's attorney has until the end of this month to respond to these new accusations. Otherwise, his federal trial in New York gets underway in August. Reporting live in the Streetside studio tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News. Brad?
Okay, so y'all just heard that right there. And let me just say this. This is a load of crap. It just is. So now, allegedly, after all these years, these 2 males have now come up with accusations that R. Kelly did something sexual to them. And I'm going to echo something that somebody has said on Twitter concerning this. If this was indeed true, they would have made sure that this got out there even before the new accusations about him messing with these young girls. They would have made sure that was front and center. As a matter of fact, when they came out with the surviving R. Kelly lifetime whatever, they would have made sure to incorporate that in there into that documentary, somewhere in there. Why now? You want to know why? Because they have no case. They saw what happened with Bill Cosby and they're panicking right now that the same thing can happen with R. Kelly before he even gets any jail time. They are scared to death right now. I think I said this before in the past. I said they don't have a case against him. That's why they keep building all this stuff up. This man literally has been locked up and has not really been formally charged with anything. Like, he's just there on accusations at this point. And now these 2, I think anybody with a pair of eyes and the right mind can see that this is BS. Like, that's not even R. Kelly's style, to be quite honest, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we know that, it's sketchy about what happened back in the early 2000s. We know about that. But this right here is a huge, and I do mean an overextending Reed Richards Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four reach. I do not believe this at all. This is nothing more than a money grab. And many people are asking, why are they going so heavy after R. Kelly? Well, there's been speculations it's because he's, it's a money thing. It could be the catalog. You know, he has a pretty extensive catalog right now. And I always say, interesting how whenever a black artist, especially a black male artist, goes after their publishing or their masters, weird shit starts to happen. Whether like stuff like this or they end up dead. Like, really think about that. When you're trying to go after your intellectual property or something that belongs to you, and they start to do all of this stuff. But all in all, I truly believe they don't even have a case against this man. So they're just kind of throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. And right now, nothing is sticking. They don't have a case with what's going on, the current stuff, and they're not going to have a case with this one. And I hope they actually see that. Like, they're literally doing, like I said, they're doing the same thing with him that they did with Bill Cosby. And I feel bad for the people who actually will believe these new charges. Like, come on, like, do y'all not actually see what's really going on? And people going to look at me or say stuff about me or anyone else that's coming out and talking about this and saying that I'm defending him and everything like that. This isn't so much of a defense thing. It's more of, it's a messed up thing. If you're going to go after somebody, go after them with solid, hardcore evidence. Don't make shit up just because you don't like this person. That's what they did with Bill Cosby. That's why a lot of people keep ragging on Bill Cosby right now, because they don't like him. I'm like, I'm glad y'all are not attorneys and not lawyers, because you just can't go after somebody because you don't like who they are. You have to go after them because the law is saying they did this, they did that, and they need to be brought up on charges and face consequences because of this, that, and the third. Not because of your personal vendetta against the individual that you don't like. And they're basically doing the same thing here with R. Kelly. So, and the thing is, he's going to face the same thing as Bill Cosby. If he manages to walk away from this because of what's going on, you can have some people come out there and say, oh, it was a technicality, because people still calling what happened with Bill Cosby a technicality, even though it was not a technicality. I'm going to need people to pick up a book and read. But his reputation is tarnished. And that was the goal. To tarnish his reputation. Because here's the thing. What happened back in the early 2000s and those accusations and whatnot, and what happened allegedly on that tape, that was supposed to ruin him. That was supposed to be the career ender for R. Kelly, but it didn't. They basically found him not guilty of pretty much what he was accused of. And he went on and continued on with his career. That wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't part of the plan. So now here we are years later, and we use this to destroy him. And even if he walks away, because they messed it up, which they're doing, they already met their goal, which was to tarnish his image and ruin his reputation forever. That way, the legacy he leaves behind is not because of the music that he's done in his career, but because of this. Look at how they still talk about Michael Jackson, and that man been dead for, let me get it right, for what, 12 years now, over 12 years now. And they still try to say things or bring stuff up about him, and he's been dead for over a decade. Look at what they're doing to R. Kelly and Bill Cosby while they're still breathing. Eddie Griffin says something very potent. A black man can't go into Hollywood clean. He can't go into Hollywood and leave it clean. I just gave you 3 examples. Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, and now R. Kelly.